everyone, welcome back to Agritecture's travel-free digital webinar series. Today I have Gregory Liu, co-founder of Natufia. Gregory, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, with you.
It's crazy times we have here, so excited to have you on the series and to learn more about yourself and what you're doing with Natufia. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to you and take it away.
Okay, thank you. So I will, I will give you a little introduction of, Natufia and Natufia Kitchen Garden, what we do, and where the idea and how this, things mature and how we arrive to that. So Natufia Kitchen Garden, what it is, we build a technology, a machine that's grow plant right in the heart of your kitchen. And that's something that I started to work on about 5-6 years ago. My background was mostly in the property business, and about 10 years ago, I decided to diversify. And one of the investment I made, and this was an investment, but it was also some kind of retreat for me. I bought an olive plantation in Sicily, and that was my way to kind of connect back to what I felt is important. Nature, the earth, and essential things. And so I was there. I went to Sicily. I'm originally from France, and I started to grow olive, and started to get connected with nature and discover the food business. And the food business is something I always had healthy and was healthy living, but I was never involved in how the food business works. And when I got involved in this olive plantation, we started to diversify to any kind of product, tomato sauce and things like that. And that's really when I discover what I will call the dark side of the food industry. When I say dark side, is pesticides, is toxicity, is any kind of preservative what they put. And to me, I really did this olive plantation for fun, for pleasure, and I got pretty amazed how deep the problem is. I mean, they're poisoning really everything. They're killing the land, they're killing the things we eat. And as an entrepreneur, it's made me react on the way that I need to do something there. So I did not want to go back right away into business because I know what it takes to build a company. It takes you time, it takes you souls, it takes everything. So it took some time to mature the idea and mature the idea to go back into this business. But 5 years ago, I say anyway, I have to do something. And what we did, we create a machine. At this time was a dummy machine. And this dummy machine, what it was doing, it was growing plants right in your house. And we did different shows just to see if the idea was right. And people loved the idea to be able to grow home right inside the kitchen. So at this time, what I did, I gathered, a team of, engineer, software, hardware, botany, biology, and we all started to work on it. A team of 10 people. And we built the Natufia that you can see right on this picture there. So it's like an appliance, it's like a fridge size. And the things you see there, some people call it a fridge, we call it a Natufia. It goes about 1 to 2 salads per day. And it's right there, right in your kitchen, and you don't have much to do. You just have to, to put seed pods, and the machine does, everything for you. So the idea of that was really to bring something what is healthy and sustainable inside people's home. First, we have to know that the plant we eat, like I said before, our lives are full of pesticide and preservative. I think the next step, people went to organic. Organic is something that is so much better than the normal food, I would say. But it's something that we don't know yet is the vitamins, and nutrients, level we get in the food we eat today, And the point of Natufia is, some food, especially grains, they lose the vitamins in question of hours. And when you eat a salad, you feel you eat something, good for you. and in fact, it's good, but all the vitamins are gone, long time before even you pick up from the store, even if it's organic. So with Natufia, we're able to keep that. You grow it, you eat it, and you have the total, freshness. Of course, there's no preservative, no additive. And what we discover as well that was interesting, because I went to Sicily, really growing this plantation of olive to reconnect. And the idea of Natufia was really to bring food to people. But actually, when we did our R&D, we put different machines in people's home and chef. And actually, we see that what happened is more than just production of food. People get, reconnected with nature. And I think because they grow themselves this food, it's some kind of respect that established between the food and themselves, because it has different value if you grow it yourself. Is less waste, is more understanding of what it takes to grow and to consume this food. So I think this was a very interesting fact there. And there I put aside all the the mental health that goes into place. When you grow home, something is just to spend even 5-10 minutes with your garden. It's calm you down. It's a very interesting moment for those who have garden outside. They know what I'm speaking about. The other aspect that was very interesting and very important when we did our R&D and we built the Natufia was the design element. We understand that this piece of appliance, we can call it an appliance, need to be in the kitchen for people to really use it and take full advantage of it. And for that, the way we design it, I can go back to the previous one. We designed something very elegant. We use very beautiful materials like stainless steel, temper glass. All the cups that you can see inside are ceramic. And that was a very important part. We wanted to make it as a design element that people like to watch, that really feels like a little garden. In terms of food taste, because one thing is to grow food, the other thing is to grow food what tastes good, that feels good. Same thing. Our R&D, we did it with several. I'm from France. Luckily, I had some Michelin star chef in my family and in my relationships, so they help us really to work on the taste of food. That's something you work on, what type of food you give to your plant, on what type of light, on, what type of wind flow and things like that. It seems, easy because it's nature and we take it for granted, but you recreate nature in a small piece like that of appliance. It's so many factors that you need to incorporate to make this food, taste natural and normal. A little point is we even added music in the garden. This can seem funny, but actually it's a lot of study that shows it is not the music itself, but it's the vibration that is created that stimulate the plant. And the other part that was very important is everybody liked the idea of gardening, but a lot of people don't do it because it's difficult, it's time consuming. So the point there in Natufia was to make it extremely easy to grow for people. That was a very important point. So here in the next slide, you can see the Natufia. You can see how it look like, and here I will go back point by point, but things that I already said. It's something that is fully automated. It's connected to the internet. We gather all the data to improve it all the time. We use material like stainless steel, ceramic, temper glass, sand for the plants, and also the LED light. That's something very, very, very important. The quality of the light you give to your plant, that's what will give you the amount of nutrient, of vitamins, and also the way they will grow. And we have designed it in a way that is 24 by 24 inches, so it's integrated completely like a wine cooler or a fridge in your kitchen. So how does it work really? We have a little seed pod that we sell by box that you can order from our website, and it's coming in a few days to your house. You take this little seed pod that you see on the section number 1, and then at the bottom of the Natufia of the machine, you have a little drawer, And there you will put the little pod in the drawer. You keep it there for about 10 days. We call that the nursery. And that's where the plants start. And the plant need to start under specific conditions. And when they reach a certain level after this 10 days, then you move it to the cup, what is the major part of the units. And then they will keep growing. And the machine does everything for you. So this means open the light, close the light, water the plant, create a wind flow. It flushes the reservoir of food, etc. when it's needed. So you really have nothing to do beside, after 30 days, usually for a salad or a basil, then you can start to harvest it and make your salads or your pesto or anything like that you want. And as said before, we worked very closely with different people when we build the Natufia, and we still work with these people to keep improving our technology. So we have Chef Simone Zanoni, who is Michelin star chef at the Four Seasons in Paris. With Veronica, who is an architect that's based in the US, that's really focused on sustainability. And we work also with Annalisa, that is a nutritionist, to make sure that everything what we grow in our unit is very healthy and bring the maximum of vitamins. During the last year, because we really started to sell our products since last year only. Right now we sell in the US, we sell in Europe, and we sell in the Middle East. And we got several awards. We got 2 in the US, one at the KBS in Las Vegas just 2 months ago, in Los Angeles at the West Edge end of last year, and last month actually, before everything closed down, at the KBB in the UK. In terms of media, we're starting to see more and more attention in different places. And we work very closely as well with a kitchen designer. We have been working a lot with Bulltop, with Thematic for different integration in the kitchen, especially in Europe, and now we start to do it in the US as well. And I think I did like a little summary of what we're doing there. Probably I forgot something, but I think you will do that through the Q&A. And I'll let you go if you have some question for me here.
Excellent, Gregory. Thank you so much for sharing all with us. It's the timing of this, and the reason why we're doing this, due to this pandemic, has really started to bring up a lot of questions about the distribution of food and agriculture throughout the world. And for an individual in a city where they may not be able to go to the grocery store due to whatever restrictions or fear or whatever it may be, they may be more interested in starting to grow in their own homes. And Natufia could be quite the opportunity for them to bring it indoors and let them start growing for themselves. But with that, what is the learning curve and that user experience like for someone that doesn't have a green thumb or a gardening background that wants to get involved with one of these products?
So yeah, I think what you said, it's very interesting. Unfortunately, I think we discover, with what's happening right now, of the benefits and unfortunately the negative part of globalization and our system today. So yeah, I would like to say that Natufia lately, over the last few weeks, yes, we have seen several people contacting us exactly in this purpose. I mean, before they felt Natufia, it's like a cool object to have home, like a plus. Right now, we have seen people exactly thinking that is something very serious, and that's something that should be really thought about, to be able to grow something home. And I think that's the way we should go, and that's why we build this Natufia in the first place. I think everybody should have some kind of autonomy in terms of energy, in terms of food growing, in case this type of things happen, and happen again.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of the user experience and how easy it is to use the Natufia, that's something we work a lot on, and really it's a plug and play. I mean, it's easy as that. It's easy as I was putting on my on the slide before. So you order a little seed pod. You have a choice of about 30 type of plants. I mean, we go from lavender to basil to lettuce to kale to mint, any kind of things like that. So you take this little seed pod, you put it in the unit in the nursery, and then you check from time to time. Usually after 10 days, you just take this little pod and you move it up in the machine. And there, it will grow, and it's like a natural sense. When a basil is ready, you know what's the basil look like, and you're just going to take a few leaves, you're going to consume them. It will keep growing, and the day you decide to cut it, you cut it, you take the pot out, you clean it, you put it back, and put another seed inside. So it's very not much to do. It's just enough to do that you need to trim, you need to take care, you need to consume. If you're not going to consume anything for 1 or 2 months, you will have a jungle inside your kitchen, and you will start to try to get out of the machine. But actually, it's very, very easy to use. I would say you need 10 minutes of learning at the beginning, and that's it. Yeah.
Awesome. So, you choose your seed, you put it in the pod, it goes through that germination stage, and then you transplant it into the unit. Um, After you harvest, what is the maintenance cycle like? Do you have to take out certain pieces and clean? Can you describe that process to me?
So like on every, like you said, I mean, we don't even put the seed. The seed is already inside the pod, So you really receive the pod with the seed that is already integrated in the pod, and you really just put it there. So when you harvest, you have two solutions really to harvest. You do like what you call partial harvest. That's something you will do, for example, from mint or for lavender. You're not going to take your whole mint out. You will just take a few leaves to make a tea or mojito or whatever. And then the plant will keep growing, and you just take when you need. That's the partial harvest, and you can keep those plants weeks or months. After the full harvest, so for salad, for example, salad usually you will is arrived to maturity, you cut it, you eat it. So you take the pot, you clean the pot, just under hot water, and then you put it back. And from your nursery, where you put other seed pod, you just move them to this spot that is empty now, and they grow there. So on a daily basis, I would say that your garden will take you about 4 or 5 minutes a day. Really, what you do every day, you go, you check that everything is fine. You will have some plants that start to overgrow, that need to be trimmed. So you will cut, little bit here and there. It's water inside, so there might be some little splashes on the, on the door that you need to clean. It might be, piece here and there of water that you want to keep clean, and that's pretty much it on a daily basis, And after every let's say 4 to 6 months, really depending on where you live, you will simply have to clean some filters. That's an operation that you can do, yourself. It's very easy. You remove the front part, and there you have a couple of filters that you open, and you pass on the water and you clean them. That's pretty much it. And because, sorry, it's as well, I forgot to say at the beginning, this unit is it's plugged to the water. So you have watering, and you have water out, okay, sewage,
Mm-hmm.
and electricity. So it's mean each time the machine, what they will do, they will water. So they take water when they need, and they flush, water when the solutions start to be, too old. So it's completely autonomous in this term, And for the plant food, we have 3 little cartridges. And these cartridges, you have to refill them every 2 to 4 months. And same thing, that you can order them online through Natufia website in same time that you order your pods. And you have alerts that tell you when these nutrients get empty.
Got it. And are the units, is it just one size for the unit, or can you get different sizes? Is it, a bookshelf orientation, or can you get a cabinet orientation?
So for the moment, we have only one single model. Okay, we started with this unique model. This unique model is, it's 24 by 24, so it's really integrated and it's high like a fridge. Okay, and we have only one model. We're working on other model. We're working on model that will be bigger, smaller, and on model as well that use little bit cheaper materials to be more affordable as well. So that's
Mhm.
the model. But we will not put anything out at least before a year or a year and a half. For the moment that's the single model we have.
Got it. And I'm curious, are your customers, is the breakdown primarily residential customers purchasing this for homes, or is it there a split between them and restaurants and hotels? Um, and are there educational clients as well? Who is purchasing these types of units?
So today, really, this unit was really made for private people. So mostly what we have today is private people. Okay, but what happened because we did our R&D with chef, a lot of chef got interested. So today we have as well chefs that are interested, and the chef they use it for two things. Remember, the production of this machine is 1 to 2 salad per day, so that's good for a family. For a restaurant, usually is not enough. So the restaurant we have today as a client, they buy, 2, 3 units. That's what happened, and they grow specific type of herbs. Or we have some chef that's like to play, to play with herbs and things that are very difficult to find or they cannot, find on the market. So they grow very specific things. And for hotels, we have actually a few orders from hotel and as well from place, like we work in Dubai. We have one like that. That is more for something to create an ambience, to create a feeling. And usually those places use it more, not for the salads or the consumable as a food, but mostly for tea. They grow chamomile, they grow mint. So people go to the, office area where usually you can have your coffee and then you take, a few pieces of mint or chamomile and then you make your tea with that. So that's what we see as a clientele that is other than the private people.
And as a product designer, developing this unit, I imagine you've spoken to countless amount of users, whether they are for home units or restaurants or for chefs. What are
Mhm.
some takeaways that you've learned through those interviews you've had, and what are some key lessons you can share to our audience in developing this product?
So yes, I think we did an R&D that was really hands-on because that was very, very important. We put out a high-end product. Is not like you do it and after you test it and you try to understand if people like it or not. So we did a lot of research and work with a lot of people with that. So the main takeout that we did was an experience that if people have this unit in the kitchen or if they have it, let's say in the garage, and people, if it's in the garage, they don't use it as much. This doesn't have the same impact, on your diet, on your food, on the way you live, if it's in the garage. So for this reason, we understood this has to be in the kitchen. And the design takeaway we took is it has to be beautiful and it has to look nice and it has to integrate nice. And the point we took from there, it's that it doesn't have to look too industrial. So if you see our machine, each pot of each plant is very individual. It's very fluid. This means you see the air passing is not like a drawer type of machine. That was one of the takeaway. It has to feel like light. It has to feel like a garden. I mean, the main point was really people were saying we need to feel that you have a garden, in the kitchen.
Mhm.
That
And
was
really, I
really
guess,
the main point. And as well, of course, the materials we use, we try here to do something that is as good as possible in terms of recycling and everything. So it was very important that we use ceramic in terms of plastic, that we use the minimum amount of plastic, and we use only this type of material. So that was the most takeaway from the design point of view.
And it sounds like, part of it is that people want to be able to connect to the food itself. And part of that connection is experiencing, how food is grown and being a part of that experience. So I can definitely understand, how you have greater usage when it's there in front of you in your kitchen as opposed to it being, locked away in the garage where you may not see it day to day. I think, Gregory, then, in closing, what else or what would you like to impart upon our audience and share that hasn't already been said?
I think, that, I mean, the last point even that you take, that people in the kitchen or in the garage, we even had some people that even said that we did a lot of experiment in France. So in France, if you're hungry when you get out of work or something, you go to your fridge and you take, a piece of cheese and bread. I don't know, in US would be what, peanut butter and bread as well, probably something like that. So anyway, what was interesting, we had one person who was testing it, and he was saying, I see this, and every day I pass in front, and at the beginning I was still going with my bread and my cheese, and then I started to feel a little bit guilty because I see that, and it's full of salad and fresh and nice food, that step by step I started to leave the cheese on the side and start to make myself like a little salad or something, and that's why it's important. And this person said after a few months of using it, even changed his food habits. So I think, yeah, on the closing, really, I think is important, because I think we bring an object here, an appliance. This is something completely new, and I don't think we have seen anything really, really new in terms of appliance in the kitchen since the microwave, maybe. That is, probably not the best things compared to what we do here. So I think it's really bringing something new, is really bringing something that's that actually we're growing. And I think this connection with nature is very, very important. I think our life, is always on the speed, always on the move. I mean, right now, unfortunately, with what happened, maybe people, settle a little bit and we have no choice. But I think is this connection with nature, I think is so important, and I think we underestimate it. So beside the food impact, something that is very important is the mental health, the interaction with this nature that we can do every day with the Natufia. That I think we just really at the beginning, even ourselves, to discover what's the real impact, there.
Well, listen, Gregory, thank you so much for taking the time and joining us today. We really appreciate it. Really excited that we were able to share the story of Natufia and, get to see you in person and have you on the series. And with that, thank you again, and looking forward to our next conversation.
Thank you. Thanks to you. Thank you very much for having me there. And, don't hesitate, if people watching this have questions to ask us, I will be very happy to answer. And yes, and maybe, we do another one. And after all this, difficult time pass, and I wish everybody to be healthy and to go through this time. And that is going to be over soon.
Awesome, Gregory. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.